Did you know that 90% of non-melanoma skin cancers are associated with exposure to UV radiation from the sun?
Did you know that 76,000 people in the US will get melanoma skin cancer this year?
Hi, I'm Marielle, an IB Physics SL student.
I'm Deanna, and I'm an IB Chem SL this year.
I'm Kevin Hong, and I'm a bio student.
We're going to lead you through this in-depth discussion about a major concern for our world.
Above our atmosphere, the sun gives us harsh UV rays that contribute to skin cancer.
But as of now, we're welcoming those harmful rays into our world.
There's only one thing that stands between us and those rays. The ozone layer, a thin layer of the atmosphere.
But scarily enough, that layer, that protection, is getting reduced even further.
And it's partly our fault.
And soon all we'll have to protect ourselves are umbrellas. First things first, what even is the ozone layer? The ozone layer is a thin layer of our atmosphere, about 15 to 35 kilometers above Earth's crust. It has a high concentration of ozone, or O3 molecules, which is what gives it its name. It's only a small piece of the atmosphere, but it plays a very important role by shielding the Earth from harmful light rays emitted by the sun. Specifically, I'm talking about ultraviolet rays, or UV rays. UV light rays have a shorter wavelength than light in the visible spectrum, and subsequently have more energy. There are three types of UV rays, UVA, UVB, and UVC, with respectively shorter wavelengths, and the sun emits all three. UVA rays are pretty much harmless, but UVC rays are deadly, and UVB rays can cause harm to organisms. These are what the ozone layer protects us from. The O3 molecules absorb all of the deadly UVC rays so that none of them reach Earth's surface, and most of the UVB rays too. Because of this, the ozone layer is vital to life on our planet.
What causes the ozone layer to deplete, you may ask? Ozone-depleting substances. Those are chemicals containing a chlorine and or a fluorine attached to a carbon. They break apart the molecular bonds of the ozone layer. So the ozone that's in the stratosphere, or the stratospheric ozone, which is in the upper atmosphere, moves towards the poles when it generally exists at the tropic levels. This is due to air circulation patterns. At the poles, stratospheric clouds form. And because chlorofluorocarbons can last in the air for a long time, they are moved up to the poles due to these wind circulation patterns, where they then stick to the ice. Then, when the sun comes up and releases the chlorofluorocarbons into the air, they do their dirty work, breaking the molecular bonds of the ozone. A hole in the ozone layer was first observed in the early 1980s over Antarctica. The thickness of the polar stratospheric ozone layer depends on the rate of production of ozone in the tropical stratosphere, the movement of ozone from the tropic to the poles, the amount of ultraviolet radiation from the sun, the polar stratospheric cloud cover, and the chemical reactions between the ozone and the ozone-depleting substances. Those ozone-depleting substances are in the form of cleaning agents, coolants in refrigerators, packing material, air conditioning, and arsenal spray cans. Those are our man-made contributions.
The ozone layer protects the entire world. It protects plant life, marine life, and us, animals. The depletion of the ozone layer allows UV rays into our world. The depletion of the ozone layer affects plant life, including flowers and trees. UVB radiation impairs photosynthesis in plants. Photosynthesis is a process used by all plants in the world that converts the sun's light energy into chemical energy. This energy is then used for processes that the plant needs in order to function. Without the ozone layer, plants can't actually photosynthesize. Thus, their function of photosynthesis is impaired. UV radiation also affects marine life. This can be from the tiniest fish to the biggest whale to even tinier microbial life. Increased UV radiation also has an effect on the marine food chain. This food chain is extremely intricate, and if one part goes astray, then the entire system can go into chaos. Each part of the food chain need each other to sustain a healthy lifestyle, and without it, there cannot be balance. Increases in UV radiation also affect phytoplankton, which is a type of microbial in the ocean. Thus, increases in UV radiation disturbs microbial marine life. So, as time goes by, and if the ozone layer continues to deplete, then the increases in UV radiation will have an extremely detrimental effect on microbial life in the ocean, and thus will permanently alter the food chain. Increases in UV radiation and the depletion of the ozone layer also hurts us and leaves us vulnerable to many different illnesses. The one thing protecting us from harmful UV rays from the sun are our stratosphere and the ozone layer. However, as the ozone layer, our main layer of protection, gets smaller and smaller, more UV rays affect us, and thus UVB rays attack our skin in particular. Increases in UV radiation also increase possible damage to our cells. Inside our cells are the nucleus, and inside the nucleus is our DNA. Increases in UV radiation detrimentally affect our DNA, and thus we're more prone to illnesses. One of the most prominent of these illnesses is skin cancer, an illness found in around 3.3 million Americans this year. And of those 3.3 million, 76,000 will die. We need to find a solution, and fast.
So let's recap. The ozone layer is a part of our atmosphere with a high concentration of O3 molecules, which absorbs UV rays emitted by the sun. A hole has appeared in this layer due to our use of ozone-depleting substances, allowing those harmful UV rays to reach Earth's surface, which could cause extreme damage to nature and to us, increasing our risk of skin cancer.